answer this question, we developed a theory that integrates identity, source cues, and message effectiveness, particularly in regard to contentious political issues. We posit that the rapid change in opinion on marriage equality occurred because over time, individuals were nudged by members and leaders of their social groups to reconsider their existing opinions. We believe existing explanations of the rapid movement in public opinion toward support of marriage equality are missing a key element: the effects of identity priming from a variety of social identity groups. This book looks at how individual-level identity and identity cues from in-group members affect attitudes toward the prominent and contentious issue of marriage equality. It also expands existing research on identity priming and attitude change in new and interesting ways. Later in this chapter, we delve into the relevant literature that helped us develop our theory and the details of how it works. That theory-building project began with a relatively small observation. As professional political scientists, we were simply stunned at the rapid rate at which Americans were shifting their opinions on marriage equality. This just isn't typical of trends in public opinion. When real life doesn't fit with our expectations as scholars, it signals an opportunity to reevaluate our understanding of how things work. In this instance, it led us to reconsider when and how individuals change their opinions about controversial political issues. The rate of change was too rapid for cohort replacement. In other words, these changes were not simply due to opponents of marriage equality dying and being replaced in the population by younger, more progressive people. Folks were actually changing their minds. Was it just that more people were realizing that they had friends and family members that were members of the gay and lesbian community? Again, the rate of attitudinal shifts seemed too rapid to be due simply to increased contact. The more we delved into our seemingly simple observation, the more we were convinced that there were deeper questions to be answered in the intersection of individual-level identity, messaging and source cues, and social issue leadership, questions that deserved further inquiry. We hypothesized that shifting attitudes were the result of individuals updating their opinions to better align with emerging preferences by people they respected and with whom they identified in some way. In other words, when they heard that someone in a social or political group with which they identified, especially a leader of that group, was a supporter of marriage equality, and particularly if that support was surprising, they reconsidered their own position and even updated their own position in order to better align with that observed opinion. For example, during most of his first administration, Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States, was an opponent of marriage equality. In 2012, Obama evolved and endorsed marriage equality, an event we discuss further in Chapter 3. Black Americans who had previously opposed marriage equality were likely surprised to hear that he had changed his mind and were simultaneously moved to reconsider their own opinions. Some then shifted their own opinions to mirror those of the president, becoming marriage equality supporters. We hypothesized that the unexpected nature of such an endorsement, coupled with the strong degree to which many black Americans identify Obama as an important member of a shared social group, that is, as black, enhanced the power of his support to shift attitudes among the black public. This, we believe, helps explain the rapid shift we have seen on this issue among certain identity groups. We call this the theory of dissonant identity priming. While the experimental data we present are focused on lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender (LGBT) rights issues, and mostly on the issue of marriage equality, the identity-based priming model and theory we describe in this chapter would also be applicable to other contentious social issues. Sinclair wrote that individuals are social citizens embedded in interactive networks, and it is well established that references to some social identities can move public opinion.